Hello out there, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, DTB59 Complete Auto Detailing. And today we're going to be working on this Chrysler Jeep Patriot. Now, I'm not exactly sure what year this is, but I do know what kind of vehicle it is. It's a Dodge or Chrysler Jeep Patriot. It's a real nice looking car, as you can see it from the back right here. Hasn't been cleaned in a while. It's pretty dirty. You can look at the wheels and the tires, and you look at the paint, and there's a look on the inside right there, and you can see it's it's pretty dirty on the inside. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing today on this vehicle is I'm going to be giving it a Deke Basic, which is the number one first package. And in that package, it includes the wash and decon, clay barring, and I always do a little bit of extra when I'm doing these vehicles. I don't just leave it at that. I always do a little bit something extra. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get it all sprayed off, and that's how I do my little pre-washes. I do a pre-rinse. I like to wet everything before I put any soap on it. It's a sunny day out today. The temperature right now is about 55 degrees. It's a nice cool day, and it's a very windy day, as you can tell by you can look at the way the water's spraying. So, and this is, like I said, it's going to be a Deke Basic, but this car's got so many different imperfections in it. It's got quite a few scratches and mar spots in it. I'm going to do a little bit something extra on it, a little bit more than what the customer asked for, what they're paying for. But, that's what I do. I mean, my work is what I do. I love what I do. And there's nothing better in life than doing something that you love to do, what it is that you do. So with that being said, I'm going to get this thing sprayed off at first to get it everything wet before I put any type of soap and shampoo on it. Okay, now before I start washing anything, the first thing I do is I do the wheels. Now, what I'm spraying on these wheels right now is my own mixture formula chemical. The stuff that I came up with. Now, I can't tell you what it is, because if I tell you what it is, then I have to kill you. Okay? That's just a joke. But I'm spraying it. I have my own all-purpose wheel and tire cleaner. And it won't hurt the rims or anything. It really won't, because it's not an acid-based form. Now, after I let that sit for a little bit, then I go to my bucket. I use hot water, and I use a scrub brush and scrub the wheels. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the stuff I sprayed on it turned those wheels brown. Lets you know that it is working. And the stuff that I use, the stuff that I mix together is good for, tires and all kinds of wheels. Okay, so I also use it, as I say, I use the brush when I'm cleaning the tires, to get up inside of the wheel wells of the vehicle. Now, I use a barrel brush when I'm brushing out the wheels itself in between those spokes. And these are 5-spoke wheels, so I use that to clean those out. And I always use hot water. I like using hot water. You don't have to use hot water, but, on a cool day like today, the hot water makes it a little bit more comfortable on your hands to use. It really does. Makes it a lot more comfortable than just, sticking your hand to a cold bucket of cold water. And as you can see, the rinse that I'm doing on this, the wheels came out great. I mean, all the dirt basically just dissolved on it, and it softened it up real good. So, who knows? I'm gonna come out with my own wheel cleaner. I'm a patent it my own self. It's gonna be my own stuff, and who knows? Maybe I may be able to make a buck off of it. We'll see. Only time will tell. You can see I'm scrubbing that back wheel, and as I hit that back wheel, how brown it is now. If you spray any kind of wheel cleaner, tire cleaner on your tires, when you see that white foam, if it foams up, it starts turning brown. That lets you know you're getting the dirt off of it. It lets you know that the dirt is definitely coming off of it. Now in the next phase, what I do is I'm doing the shampoo on it. Okay, I'm using a mixture of, I have the Adams car shampoo. I have that mixed along with the Jay Leno's Garage ceramic car soap. I mix those two together to put them in my foam cannon, and it foams up real good. Getting it over the back real good. And the thing about it is that when I spray this when I foam it up like this, I let that foam sit on there for about 5 minutes, and I'm telling you now, it comes off real smooth. Doesn't dry up real fast. Now, I've already washed it down, fast forwarding. Now I'm spraying a rinse over it. And I want you to know that I did wash it. I did use a wash mitt and did clean it up real good. And now it's time to spray it all down to get all the soap and the suds off of it. And I tell you what, already it looks a heck of a lot better than what it did when it first came in. And today I'm using my short spray gun. I usually use the one that has a long wand on it. But today, since the vehicle is not as high as the other trucks that I've been using, or either my truck when I'm cleaning, I can use the short one. And the short one, the one that I use, it's got good pressure. I'm using the Sun Electric. It's got 2,000 psi water pressure machine. And as I was saying, most experts will tell you 1,500 psi's, 1,1600 psi's, that's all you need. That's really all you need to clean your car. As you notice, I open up the doors because I always wash on the inside of the doors and make sure to get those door jambs out. You got to get those door jambs clean. I mean, there are some people that clean vehicles. Think about it. When you go to an automatic wash and you go through that automatic wash, going through an automatic wash is like your body being sick and you going to an emergency room. And what do they do in the emergency room? Do doctors really take time with you in the emergency room? No, they just send you through like they're running you through automatic car wash. That's why they say you got to go see your doctor in order to get the full diagnosis, to get the full treatment. That's the reason why you should get your vehicle detailed to get the full treatment. And if you're in the St. Louis area, preferably by me, DTB 59. Now, I noticed in the back, there were a couple of spots back there what I missed. And the thing about it is when you are in the sunlight, you can tell that when the water starts to dry up some, you can see the spots that you missed. But as I'm spraying the water on this vehicle, you can see that water basically is just laying there. There's no hydrophobics, none whatsoever, which tells me that the owner of this vehicle does not have any type of protection on it. Protection, what are we talking about? We're talking about different type of waxes and polishes. Polishes, waxes, any type of ceramic or graphite coating. You need some protection on that paint. It makes it a whole lot easier to clean. I guarantee you that if you never ever wax your car, polish it, put you some type of graphene or ceramic spray protection on it, let it get dirty and watch how much easier it is to clean. I mean, this stuff really, really makes the vehicle a lot easier to clean. So as you can see, I'm going back and hitting spots that are still there because this vehicle basically has, no type of protection on it. No type of detail protection, none whatsoever. A couple of spots that I missed there on the tires. I'm sorry, not the tires, but the wheels. As you can see, I went back over it again to hit them. as like I was saying, no protection. And just remember, the thing about it is the protection that you put on the vehicle doesn't just have to go to your car itself, but also go on your wheels. Now, as you can see, we got it all washed up, we got it all cleaned up, we got in the shop. But look at those scratches, man. Would you take a look at those scratches? Look at them. I mean, they're deep. It's a lot of them around there. It is a lot of scratches around the vehicle. And the thing about it is that a lot of them scratches that you see on there, they don't basically just come from people just bumping into it or, using. Look at how the water is just sitting on the hood. Look how it's sitting right there. There's no hydrophobics, none whatsoever on the hood. I mean, you see a shine because, there's still a somewhat of a gloss to it and everything. But the water basically just lays there. Look at how the water lays on the side of the doors. As you can see over this wheel here, that was a spot I rolled into out on my ground. I have rocks out there, but in a couple of days, it's all going to be black topped and paved. So we won't have that problem anymore. There's the back of the vehicle. So you look around it and see. You can see everything. You can see how the water sits on the windows. Now the vehicle is basically dry, okay? It's basically dry. Now is where we're going to start doing some stuff to it. This here's the Meguiar's 3-in-1 wax. I'm using this on it because it's got a wax, it's got a cleaner, it's got a little bit of compound in it. It's a mixture. That's why they call it a 3-in-1. Because it does more than just one thing. Using a compound on the compounds get down in it, and compounds buff it out and buff out scratches, Mars and stuff like that. Now the buffer that I'm using, this is my 6-inch polisher that I'm using. I said buffer, but it's a polisher, and it's an orbital polisher that I'm using. I grabbed this one off Amazon back a few months ago, and I think this cost me about maybe about $120 for it. And it's not a real expensive polisher, but because they got some polishers that cost you $400, $500, $600. Well, I'm not in that position to afford that right now. So, but the thing about it is, this polish that I'm using right here does the same things that the other ones do. So, I'm just giving this a light buffing right now, a light polishing out, just to get out some of the imperfections. This is by no means is this any type of paint protection that I'm using on it. I'm sorry, not paint enhancement or paint correction. This is not, because this is not what the customer is paying for. I'm basically buffing it out to bring some of the luster back to the shine. Because when you don't polish your vehicle out or buff it out, you lose a lot of the luster. You'd be surprised with the sun and the weather, weather, snow, rain, sleet, all that, what it does to your vehicle. That's why you got to have some type of protection on it. Now, look at the difference in the size. I'm on the passenger side right now, and look at the difference. And the thing I like about that Meguiar's 3-in-1 is that it wipes off so easy. Now, what I'm going to do afterwards to use it as a topper, I'm giving them a little bit extra. I'm using the new the Turtle Wax Minute Wax. Turtle Wax came out with this Minute Wax years ago. I remember seeing commercials back in the 80s about this thing. And this stuff is really good. It's got a lemon-like smell. But this lemon wax, this Minute Wax, not lemon wax, but this Minute Wax also has ceramic in it. It's got a little ceramic. And believe me, as I'm putting it on right now, it rolls on smooth and it comes off smooth, and there's leaving some luster to it. And we'll see if we get a little bit closer. Take a look at that. Look at the difference between that and the other side. You can still see the scratches and the Mars and stuff like that in it because, like I said, this is by no means any type of paint enhancement or paint correction. This is basically just it's just a wash and it's a buff, and polish job. It's a quick polish job. It's a light polish job. Now I'm on the driver's side doing the same thing. And the thing I like about this is that, I when I'm using the a compound, I like the Griots compound, the Griots complete compound, but I really like the chemical guys, the C4, which I'm going to the auto store tomorrow to get me a bottle of that. because I got a vehicle, gentleman, friend of mine has that he wants some polishing done to it. He's got some paint correction that needs to be done. So you see, I had to put a little bit more on there because it was a little bit light on it. And as I buff this out, and this is an orbital polisher. I have three orbital polishers, and I got just one random polisher, which the orbital ones, go in a circle, but they also have like a buffing motion back and forth, a rotating motion to them. And you'll notice that when you're using it. And as you can see, even one hand, I mean, this thing has got great control. It really is. I don't apply a lot of pressure down on it. I mean, the buffing pad I'm using a black finishing pad, and that's all I'm using. I'm not using a coarse pad. I mean, y'all using anything? Cause I'm trying, like I said, this is no paint enhancement or any type of paint correction. This is basically just this is a quick polish job. It wipes off so easy. It wipes off so smooth. I love the way that this Meguiar's 3-in-1 wipes off. Real slick like. Flip the rag over. Always make sure I get the other side. And I use a little bit of the Turtle Wax Minute wax as a topper. Now, I still use the same rag, but I flip it over on the inside and out, which I'm wiping it on the same thing. So basically, it's not going to hurt anything. And even if you got a rag a little bit damp, because even like when I'm putting polish on, when I'm any kind of polish that I'm putting on with the buffer, I damp it a little bit. I always damp a little bit of water on it instead of just putting it on there just like it is. A lot of us remember how that turtle wax back in the day, that hard shell wax, how hard it was to get off. There you go. Now we'll take a closer look. Look at it now. All right. And I decided to hit as you can see, the back of it. Trust me, this customer got more, much, much more than what they paid for. But, hey, that was on me. That's what I do. Now, I try not to make a habit out of it, but, if I'm going to do somebody's vehicle, I like for it to look good. I like for them to see it and say, hey, wow, there's a change. Because, I mean, anybody can wash a car. And what I have here is not a car wash. I am not a car wash. I am an auto detailer. And I'm now a professional auto detailer. Make sure we get around the tops of and also those side posts, and how those side posts right there next to the windows, those two columns, a lot of those things really get scratched up. They get scratched up really bad. So, wiping off all the rest of it, all the rest of the wax, getting that done, making sure all that's up. Kind of flip my rag over a couple of times, going up and down the sides of it. Now, with the side I'm on right now, I mean, man, I'm going to tell you, there is a lot of scratches. I mean, a lot of scratches in it. Okay, so we'll get the rest of this wiped off. get this all wiped through. And we can move on to the next stages. Okay, so now we're going to move to the front of the vehicle, which this is my 3-inch orbitable orbit polisher, and that's the one that's a little bit smaller. I'm going to use that one on this to hit these grills with. Move that around there on that side there. There was a lot of bug damage on the front end, and I did use some bug and tar remover, and I also decontaminated with some the Adams Iron X, which is some good stuff. I mean, the stuff is really strong. It smells, and I'm using this 3-inch polisher with it now. And on this, I'm using right now some of the Griot's Garage rubbing compound. We'll see how that works out. And a quick partial look on the inside, you can see where it really needs some work. And so we have it. This is the finishing product. This is how the Jeep Patriot came out looking. There's a look on the inside from the passenger side. Take a look around the sides of it. As you can see, the wheels are clean. You see the wheels are nice and shined up. You can look at the back of it and see everything that I polished up and how the paint it has a much bigger gloss than it did before when we first had it. Much bigger gloss. Anywho, I mean, this was a job, and it wasn't such a bad job. But hey, there's my number right there. If you need to call me in the St. Louis area, please hit me, like, subscribe. Thank y'all. Please subscribe. It costs you nothing to subscribe to this channel. It costs you nothing. DTB59, complete auto detailing. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like, and I do appreciate you all watching this vehicle. I hope you enjoyed it, and please keep looking because I got much more coming. Please. Thank y'all. God bless and have a good day.